Hello Lutz, and welcome to News at 9. I'm Paris Franklin. Tonight we look at sexual assault forums on campus, Earth Week, and more, all with News at 9. Today was the first of 2 sexual assault forums on campus. Over 100 people attended the event held in the Regency Room earlier today.
In lieu of raising complaints and concerns about PLU's sexual misconduct policy, the first sexual assault forum was held today in the Regency Room. With over 100 people in attendance, the forum encouraged dialogue and questions about sexual misconduct at PLU, Title IX at PLU, and other policies in place to protect victims and punish perpetrators.
But I was so emotionally overwhelmed when I saw how many people were here. It made me feel so happy that so many people really want to take a stake in this huge issue. I mean, it's really probably the biggest, most impactful problem that we have on campus right now.
I think it's a really great start. I think there's definitely more to come, and there should be more to come, but as far as like a first step into answering questions and just raising those questions and making sure those voices are heard, it was a good first step.
Attendees spoke in small groups about their thoughts on PLU's policy and response to sexual misconduct. They wrote on pink sticky notes that were designated for comments or thoughts and green sticky notes for questions. These concerns will be addressed at the next forum held Wednesday, April 27th.
Optimistic. I know so many people's lives won't be the same, but I think this is how we build a culture of people supporting other people, even if this is never part of your story.
That students will leave here and go talk to their roommates about what happened here. That faculty will leave here and go talk to their colleagues who weren't here about what happened. That administrators will leave, and that this moment that we shared together will start something much bigger and much longer lasting than just spring semester 2016. That we started a movement, all of us, today.
The next forum will be held a week from today at 5:30 in a location to be announced soon. Check the Mast for more info on the sexual assault conversations around campus. If you are looking for other ways to get involved and show support for survivors of sexual assault, the Clothesline Project is happening in the gray area of the Upper University Center. This project gives women a voice to share their story of sexual violence. The Clothesline Project is put on by the Center for Gender Equality. Tomorrow night is the Take Back the Night event. Students can join and march for the rights of sexual assault victims everywhere. The rally begins at 5:30 p.m. in Red Square tomorrow. This year's Earth Day speaker was Alex Wilson, Associate Professor and Academic Director of the Aboriginal Education Research Center at the University of Saskatchewan. Mast TV got the chance to speak with her about her message.
Well, I think because it's Earth Day, it's significant that we recognize, first of all, whose land we're on, traditional territory. So one of the primary things I would like people to recognize or remember or come out of this session knowing is that it's always important to think about the historical impacts of colonization, and that there were people living here tens of thousands of years before this kind of current structure came about. And so that was one of the main things. The other thing is that we still have a really strong connection to the land, and everything that we do impacts it. And so that was another kind of connection to the mountain up there, and to start thinking about their own practices on an individual level, but more importantly on a systemic level. So we've seen kind of a crisis develop very quickly, that we no longer have in many regions access to clean water, and we no longer have access to harvesting and hunting traditional foods, and we no longer have access to just kind of ceremonial spaces in our land. So I think understanding that and realizing that the regulation of waterways and water bodies has also been historically linked to the regulation of human bodies. So to kind of combine that understanding is a way to undo it. So we have to understand the problem first before we can start addressing it. I would just like to thank Pacific Lutheran University for the invitation to be here, and I really appreciate the hospitality and just the openness of students to be willing to learn and to make a commitment to social and environmental justice and to support Indigenous rights and sovereignty.
Other sustainability events happening this week include the viewing of Cowspiracy documentary Thursday at 6:30 p.m. in Admin 101 and the Earth Day Chapel at 10:30 a.m. Friday. This week is Culinary Week at PLU, meaning students and faculty have an opportunity to participate in food sessions each day, each led by the Dining and Culinary Services staff.
Culinary Week kicked off Tuesday, April 19th with 2 lectures, Goat Carcass Fabrication and I Can Grill That. Sous chef Anthony McGinnis led I Can Grill That.
It gives us an opportunity to show off a little bit for the students, for one, to sort of show them some new things in a way that they might try, that they wouldn't have tried in an ordinary day-to-day meal service. So you want to start
During McGinnis' session, he demonstrated to an audience of 9 students some unconventional grilled foods, including avocados, watermelon, and pound cake. Chef Anna Basket-Kajera led the session on fabricating a goat carcass, and she said the most important part was pushing your comfort zone.
To step out of their comfort zone. I mean, that's the biggest thing, because goat is a very sustainable and very well-rounded meat.
Chef McGinnis also wanted to highlight stepping out of the comfort zone.
Students have basically been raised on home cooking to this point, and they're going to start making decisions about what they like, kind of establishing new horizons in what they want to eat, and find some new comfort food that wasn't comfort food, that was strange to them before.
This is Jeff Dunn reporting for Mast TV.
While you attend the last few Culinary Week sessions, be sure to post a photo with the hashtag #PLUfood to be entered into a contest run by the Business 386 class. The grand prize is a $25 gift card. Up next, Kellen takes us through arts and culture on campus. I'm Paris Franklin. Stay with us.
Here's your check. Oh, you got it. Since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. Got it. No.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early. You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free tips to help you save, go to Feed the Pig.
Hello, Lutz and Professor Lasowski. Welcome to Arts and Culture. I'm Kellen Westring. Tonight we talk to students about their summer music plans and see what Lutz think about the heat. We've been getting record-setting weather lately, and it wasn't that hard to find students to talk about what they've been doing under the sun.
Well, it's like everyone has come out from hibernation, and people are just littered everywhere. So I've been reading in the grass for class and camping out here, and all that. It's nice. That's for sure.
I've been contemplating the global climate change problems that are happening, because this is really hot out of nowhere and then it's going to rain. So I'm like, what? Yeah. Also, on a less global side note, I've been playing music.
I've been just studying and enjoying the sun, kind of just having a good time. I played Frisbee a couple times with some friends that I made just because they were out enjoying the weather too.
Well, I've been hanging out with my cat on my doorstep of my house, and we've been having a lot of leisurely time laying in the sun and getting a little sunburned. I guess not my cat, but me.
Well, basically, anything that I once did inside, I now am doing outside. So I'm talking sleeping, homework, hanging out with my friends, and eating.
Take advantage of the sun while you still can, Lutz, because we all know the Pacific Northwest, the rain can come at any moment. And with the warm weather brings summer music festivals. The start of festival season was welcomed by Coachella last weekend and will continue throughout the coming months. We caught up with the Lutz and their summer music plans.
Spring is in the air, and the school year is coming to a close. And just like the weather, the summer music scene is heating up with the lineup of festivals and concert tours that have Lutz already buying tickets for this season's hottest shows.
We're going to go see Beyonce at Key Arena and at the end of May, and I am super excited.
This summer I'm going to the Pemberton Music Festival. It is in July and it's a 5-day festival. It's really similar to Coachella, but it's in Canada, and it's a variety of musicians and groups featuring chain smokers, and there's comedians, and Snoop Dogg's going to be there, and the Killers are going to be there too. So it's just a huge group of all these different kinds of artists and groups, and it's going to be really fun.
I'm going to go see Need to Breathe this summer, and I will be going right like 2 days before school starts. And I want to go see them because they're awesome, and they're touring with Matt Kearney and John Mark McMillan, and those are 3 of my favorite people. So, yeah.
I listen to Partition all the time. All the time. When I'm getting ready for a show, or even just getting ready and putting my makeup on in the morning, I just listen to Partition. At least like 3 times a day, I'd say.
I'm really excited to see Chainsmokers because I have a very high-key obsession with them. I love their songs, but also, like I said, Killers I'm really excited to see too.
This is Brooke Timms reporting for Mast TV.
Our own spring concert is happening in 2 weeks, Lutz. Lollapalooza will be on the golf course Saturday, May 7th. For more information about Lolla, visit lollapalooza.com or download the Mast app for more. Today was the opening of the Senior Art Exhibition in the University Gallery. Over 70 people were in attendance, celebrating the graduating class and work. The gallery showing will be open until May 16th. Be sure to check it out and support your fellow Lutz. Upcoming events to put on your calendar include the spring concert for University Chorale tomorrow at 8 p.m. in Lagerquest, a showing of the Media Lab documentary, These 4 Years, April 28th, and the musical She Loves Me, premiering May 12th. We will keep you updated on future events, and follow us on Twitter at PLUMast for much more. Be sure to like us on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube, and if you can't do any of that, download the new Mast app. It's a great app, available on iTunes and Google Play. The app connects to you to campus safety, concierge, campus news, and much more. Check it out today. Thanks for watching, and now to Dylan Foreman with sports.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
It's a short ride from your neighborhood to your naturehood. Find fun activities to do, like boating and biking, or camping and hiking, plus much more. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
Hello and welcome back. I'm Dylan Foreman bringing you PLU Athletics. This Sunday, women's tennis finished out their season with a home match against Whitman. Even though the team couldn't pull out the win, they decided to get together for one more practice to end the season on a high note. On Monday, they all put on their Sunday best, including tutus, neon spandex, and glitter. They joined together on the courts one last time until next year. Lutz will only lose one senior this year, so the team is confident in returning next season very strong. Women's tennis falls to Whitman in their last match of the year as they lost 8-1. Lutz honored their lone senior captain, Samantha Lund, as she suffered a season-ending knee injury earlier in the season that didn't allow her to continue playing. The team placed 7th overall in the conference as they earned a 4-8 record overall. The softball team finished their 2016 on a high note as they went out to win 3 out of 4 games against Puget Sound. The Lutz split the first 2 on Saturday at home, then went on to sweep the Loggers on their home field in dramatic fashion. Freshman Catherine Hatlin hit a walk-off grand slam against the UPS in the top of the 7th inning in the Lutz final home game, winning 7-6. With the conclusion of the season, the Lutz say goodbye to 2 seniors, Kelly Crawford and Allison Behrens, as they concluded their last weekend as a Lutz softball player. Also, Nicole Schroeder won Position Player of the Week after a weekend of solid play at catcher. Lutz placed 3 members of the women's golf team in the top 10 last weekend while placing 2nd in the Willamette Spring Thaw at Lost Tracks Golf Club. After 2 years of play, the Lutz posted a score of 646 behind the winner, Lewis and Clark. Lutz will compete in the Northwest Conference Tournament this weekend in Bend, Oregon, where the outcome accounts for 50% of the final team scores. PLU baseball goes 2-1 in their last regular season games against Lewis and Clark as they now head into postseason play. Lutz finished with an overall conference record of 15-9, which was good enough to earn them 2nd place in the conference. Lutz will play George Fox in the first round of the tournament at Whitworth, where they will look to earn themselves an NCAA Division III West Regional bid for the national tournament. Notable individual accomplishments include Corey Nelson, recording the lowest ERA among qualified pitchers in the conference, and Garrett Brown, who was tied for first in saves at 6. PLU lacrosse may seem like an afterthought to most people, but the Lutz are trying to change that perception through hard work and patience. Here's a look at PLU Lax.
The PLU lacrosse team has struggled. The last time they won a game was 5 years ago, and for the last 2 years, it has been an uphill climb to rebuild the program. Sophomore captain Alex Moore explains the process.
Yeah, I'd say that the first thing is when we were coming here, we're trying to rebuild a program. And that never happens within the first year or the second year. So I'd say my freshman year was all about trying to get people to come and join the program, and then this year was about trying to produce a program that can win.
Jump on it! Jump on it!
So the year before I got here, we weren't even sure if we were going to have a team. Then my year showed up, and all my class showed up, and it was about getting a baseline of players to make sure that we actually were going to have a team every single year. And then this year was about bringing in players who were excited to play, committed to the program, and wanted to win. So instead of like, oh, we don't know if we're going to have a team or we're going to even play, it's about we're going to have a team and now we need to win games. So there's a completely different mindset from the year that my first year that I was playing and the year before me to now. Is it tough? Yes, there are times where as a captain I'm like, oh my God, we should have had this win. We should have won. We can do this. But then there are times where like our team collectively has maybe played less than 2 years combined. Like most of our players have played less than 2 years, so we're young. So we're developing our lacrosse IQ, understanding the game. Like that chemistry isn't quite there yet, and I'm just excited to see what next year brings. That's where we're really gonna click.
Remember, this is a team game. Not one guy, but all 6 guys on one side are working together as one. Get it. All right? Do what we did yesterday. Let's go. You go out and pick what is yours.
Despite the setbacks in recent history, PLU is determined to get their first win and have done nothing but improve over the season. They now have a solid roster with a young, capable talent that is sure to propel them to success in the near future.
Get our first win. It's honestly, I think the team is going to be exuberant. I think that's probably the best way to describe it. We're going to be extremely pleased with ourselves. We've worked all this time. Like, it's taken, for me, if we win on Saturday, it would have been 2 years. But if we don't, then it would have been 3 years because we're winning next year, no matter what. We're going to playoffs next year.
Though the Lutes have yet to win a game in 5 years, they remain hopeful that their team is close to being a competitive and winning program. Their last game is this Saturday at 1 p.m. at home. That's all we have for you tonight. Make sure to tweet us your thoughts to @PLUMast. I'm Dylan Foreman. We'll see you again next time on News at 9.